Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. So, a couple days ago, I made a video called Why Supercharged is my least favorite Skylanders game. Now, just to let you guys know, that video had a script. I was reading from a script. That's how all my videos are because I can't remember a single thing whenever I'm talking about a subject. So I always write scripts so I can get the general idea of what I'm saying. But you read the title in this video, Why Imaginators is my favorite game. This is not gonna have a script. I'm just gonna, speak from the heart, speak from my soul. So no script, because I feel like when I'm talking about my favorite game, I shouldn't need a script to say why that is my favorite game. But without further ado, a lot of people, by the way, I'm just gonna say, are probably gonna disagree with me with this, because a lot of this does come down to opinion. A lot of reasons why Imaginators is my favorite game, it does solely come down to opinion. So anyway, with all that being said, let's get into why Skylanders Imaginators is my favorite Skylanders game. Hey, future Skylander Gamer TV here. I know that sounds weird because the video just started, but I forgot to say this during my video. But while you're listening to this video, I want you to play this in the background of you really doing anything. This isn't a video just like to watch, it's more of a video to listen to, kind of more like a podcasty thing. But I would recommend playing Imaginators while I'm talking about why Imaginators is my favorite game. But anyway, future Skylander Gamer TV out. Let's go to past Skylander Gamer TV. He's pretty cool too. Let's get to the video. Okay, let's get this out of the way. The gimmick, easily my favorite gimmick. It's not even close. It's not even close. Being able to create your Skylander is such a good gimmick, and while it's not anything crazy like a really imaginative gimmick like Swap Force was, people wanted to do this since day one. It wasn't coming out of nowhere because no one was thinking about Swap Force when it came out. But even though it's not entirely brain 4D chess brain move to make that the gimmick, I still think that it's such a good gimmick that you do get to create your own Skylander. I mean, and also the character creator is so good. You can basically make whatever you want, okay? You can basically make whatever you want. I mean, and you've seen that with, Portal Power's TV series a long time ago, Reimaginators. He basically just made everything that existed ever, and it looks good. Now, if you're trying to make something look exactly like something, you're trying to make, I don't know, the Grinch That Stole Christmas, exactly you're not going to get exactly like that, but you can at least get close. But you really can create whatever you want. And all my Imaginators, I can say that's how I wanted them to look. I was thinking of that, and I think they come out looking good. And while it's kind of sad that not every Skylander can look like a ninja, not every Skylander can look like a swashbuckler, there's no Imaginators you can have that are only 4 legs, I still think that it's just, even though it is limited by that, there's almost unlimited possibilities you can do with the Skylanders that you're given. And I think it's cool because they could have just made every single Skylander look the same, but no, they actually made swashbucklers and ninjas look different. So I think that is actually something really cool that they did that they really didn't have to do. Now, there's a problem with this, of course, not being able to set your creation crystal. I really don't harp on that as much as other people do. I don't think it is as big as a deal as other people make it out to be. I mean, sorry, that was Discord if you heard that. When you're making the Skylander, it does say, hey, you're not going to be able to reset it. And I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's as big of a deal as other people, think it is. And that's just my opinion. You can totally disagree with that. That's fine. But I think that it's just not a big deal because, unless you're just trying to change the look of the Skylander, there's no reason why it would need to change the battle class. I mean, it's hey, you're going to make a knight. You sure you want to do this? Final decision. Okay, yeah, I want to make a knight. And then you're like, oh, well, I actually wanted to make a swashbuckler. Why did you make a swashbuckler in the first place then? I just like how, that Skylander is going to be that battle class forever. Unless, you do the Skylanders Giants or 3DS, loophole where you can't actually reset your Skylander. But that Skylander's going to be like that, forever. And I think that's actually kind of cool. I actually like that they did that. And obviously, it's probably just because they didn't want you to sell the Skylanders. Again, that's just how Activision is, guys. Don't expect them to do anything to make them less money. But I'm okay with the fact that, you're not able to reset them. Would I like to be able to reset them? Yes, of course. I'd love to be able to reset them. But I don't think it is as big as a deal as other people say it is. You can disagree with me, though. Another one, you know, the Sensei's best Skylanders roster in the entire history. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, the Senseis, they're overpowered. Like, they're really strong, but that's how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be called the most powerful Skylanders ever, and they live up to the name. They're really powerful Skylanders. I will die on the fact that, you know, the Senseis are the best group of Skylanders ever. It's the best roster that we've gotten ever. I mean, you have your villains brought back. You know, Blastron, who's my favorite Skylander, by the way. Golden Queen, Grave Clobber, and I know that, like, Grave Clobber, you know, Chomp Mage, element or battle class doesn't, you know, it doesn't match it, but that really doesn't matter. Like, I get that, like, it's weird, but, like, people, like, act like it matters, but, like, it really just doesn't matter that much, really, if you think about it. It doesn't matter that they got, you know, their battle class changed or their, you know, their element changed, because, you know, most of the time it works. Like, even though Chomp Mage should have been a sorcerer, yeah, whatever, he works as a bazooka. Like, when you give him the bazooka, he's a good Skylander. It works, and he's a summoner one as well, which, you know, makes it even better. Obviously, it's weird that Grave Clobber is a water element, but that's really the only thing different that, you know, is with Grave Clobber, besides him having more, like, water element attacks. You still have the punch attack, you still have, like, the slam on the ground attack. It just does different stuff. So I don't really think it matters as much that the villains got their element switched. And Tycoon Crow actually works really good as a fire element, but I'm going on a tangent here. Like I said, roster's great. I think there's only, like, 2 Skylanders that I don't like from this roster. All the other ones are great or amazing Skylanders. This Skylanders roster is the best Skylanders roster, and there is nothing that anyone can tell me that will make me change my mind. This roster, it's just the best. Now let's get on to levels, and this is where like, I think this section of the video is going to be the part of the video where we're most likely going to butt heads or, like, not going to agree with this, because this does come down to opinion. I like the levels in Imaginators. Are there bad levels? Yes, there's always going to be bad levels. But I know a lot of people hate the levels and think they're, you know, just not, you know, inspired at all. They're uninspired. And while, yes, some of the levels aren't inspired, I mean, Abandonment Amusement Park's name is literally Abandoned Amusement Park. That doesn't matter to me. I think the levels are still fun. You know, Dragon, I think it's called Dragon Temple, is that, like, based off of Dragon's Peak? Yes, it's still a fun level, though. That doesn't take away from the fact that the level isn't fun. The music in this game, while it's nothing close to Lauren Balfe's music, it's still good. Like, it's still a good music, gives you good atmosphere. That's the only 2 examples that I can think of, that levels that are uninspired. Abandoned Amusement Park and, Dragon's Temple. Now, is some of the levels that aren't, you know, like, in Pop Fizz's level, I think it's called Fizzland. It's totally inspired. Like, I don't see any other level besides, like, Darklight Crypt and Time Tower, I think that's what the level's called, that have that physic in it, that you can, like, switch worlds. But besides that, the level's really unique. Now, is it a good level? No, not at all. It's a really bad level, actually. But it's still a great level. And all the expansion packs are good except for 2. Well, really 1. I don't like Griffin Park Observatory at all. I think that's a horrible level. And even though I said that, like, I think, for me, I don't really like the Crash Bandicoot expansion pack level, I can still, like, find some enjoyment out of it. And this game also has the most amount of expansion packs, given it 15 base game chapters, so you can't say it's short. Now, yes, you know, basically all the expansion, you know, packs, you know, hard to find. Yeah, but I'm not judging this game based on the Skylanders and how hard they were to find. I'm just judging on the game alone. And the expansion packs, the ones you get, Lost Imaginite Mines and Cursed Tiki Temple, those are great expansion packs. And you also get creation parts with them too, which is really cool. Now, did they add microtransactions? Yes, but you didn't actually have to buy them. You didn't have to. You can find every single Imaginite part in the game, besides obviously the blue chests, but besides that, you can get every single Imaginite part in the game. So you don't actually need to buy the microtransaction, you know, chests in the game. Is it, like, weird that they introduced them? Yeah, but it's nothing to, like, to get mad about, you know? It's nothing to get mad about. And I also like how they added the Sensei realms. I think that's actually really cool. especially because the last game didn't really have elemental gates. They had those vehicle gates, which I didn't like at all. I like the Sensei realms. They are basically as long as a regular level. They're a little bit shorter, but they're around the same length as a regular level, and I think they're all great, which boosts the, if you count them, which, you know, some days I'll be like, I don't count them, some days I do, but if you do count them, that brings it up to 25 chapters. That's a lot of chapters, guys. And the Sensei realms are really fun. I like every single one of them. I think it's cool that they made levels that are based off the Skylanders, and, you know, the Sensei realms are found in the MAP, and let me get to the MAP. I actually really like the idea that they had with the MAP. I think it's a great idea, and they kind of went with an open world aspect to the hub world. Is it, you know, bad that you can't fast travel? I mean, it's not the greatest thing ever, but as a person who likes exploring the map, I'm fine with that you can't fast travel. I like exploring the MAP. The MAP is really fun to just go around. Now, some people disagree with me with that, of course, but in my opinion, it's really fun to just travel around. The only part I don't like traveling to is the Chaos boss fight, because you have to actually like use those wings or whatever to get up there. It's really weird, but for the most part, I think the MAP is actually really great. Now, it's my second favorite. It's my second favorite hub world. The Ruins beat it, obviously, because the Ruins is literally the perfect hub world. I think out of, like, I literally think the Ruins is the perfect hub world. Out of, like, it's my favorite hub world out of any game I've ever played. I think it is actually literally the perfect hub world. So it had some pretty big shoes to fill, but I think the MAP is really good for, you know, what it is. And let's talk about the Chaos boss fight too. It is better than the Superchargers boss fight. You know, I actually think that this boss fight is probably better than the SSA boss fight and the Superchargers boss fight. It might be better than the Swap Force boss fight, but those are probably tied. I just think it's funny that he goes Super Saiyan. Like, let's be honest, when we saw Chaos go Super Saiyan, we probably all laughed. Is it dumb? Yeah, it's really dumb. It's really dumb the way he looks. He's going Super Saiyan, but it's really funny. And I also like how, you know, you battle the Doomlanders in the boss fight too. Now, is this boss fight anything special? No, it really isn't. But I don't really think any Chaos boss fight is anything special besides like the Trap Team and Giants ones. Those are really good. But usually the Chaos boss fight, I feel like, is like not the best boss fight in the game. And this time it actually is the best boss fight in the game. And let's get to the other boss fights too. Every single level has a boss fight in it. I think that's really cool. Now, are the Doomlanders anything to write home about? No, they're not. They're not. But I think it's cool that you get a boss fight at the end, or in Scalaville's case, because it likes to be different, in the middle of every level. I think that it's, except expansion pack levels, obviously. But like I said, I think it's cool that you get a boss fight at every level. It gives you something to do. Now, I think the Doomlanders kind of get stale, maybe the last two levels, but that's with really just any Skylanders game, really. I think the boss fights kind of get stale by the end of the game because you want to just fight Chaos. But I actually find some enjoyment out of fighting these bosses. I think it's cool that, like I said, every single level you get a boss fight. And I think that every single expansion pack level also has a boss fight, except for Griffin Park Observatory. I don't think that has a boss fight, but I think every single other one has a boss fight. No, Cursed Tiki Temple doesn't. That's weird. Anyway, I think that's cool that most of the levels do get a boss fight. And I actually kind of like the swamp, that swamp creature boss fight from Scalaville. I think it's kind of a cool thing to shake things up. I think that is cool. I like that. Alright, let's get to more stuff about why Imaginators is so epic. But real quick, I do want to point out, you know, some things that aren't that great about Imaginators, but I can only name a couple. The cake part missions, it is filler. It's filler. There's no reason that it should exist, but some of the places that you actually end up going to get the cake parts are actually kind of fun. Like those dungeons, I actually find some enjoyment getting out of it. But like I said, the cake parts are completely redundant, and I would have rather just had 2 levels, or like 1 level trying to get the cake part. I think that would have made more sense if you just had 1 more level giving us the cake part, so we can actually have a Sentinel boss fight, because the Sentinel Doomlander doesn't come until the Chaos boss fight, which he's actually a part of the boss fight, so he never actually does get a boss fight. So I think it would have been better if they just had a level dedicated to finding cake parts, instead of just giving us like these bunch of side quests to do. That's weird, but like I said again, I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. Like I said, this entire video is very opinionated, and basically what I'm going to be saying the entire video is I don't think these things are as bad as some people say, or I actually think these things are good. let's get to the end of the game. Now, does the end of the game when you don't have, like, as much stuff to do as some of the other games? No, but I think it has more stuff to do than, I think, 2 of the other games. Definitely has more stuff to do than Giants, because Giants you can really just 1v1, and what are the things called? I forgot. Soul Gem, you know, like the Skylander things, their challenges, whatever. This game, the brain will always just have random stuff for you to do around the MAP. Now, have I done some of this stuff? Yeah, and I actually think some of them are fun. I think that some of the stuff that the brain gets you to do is actually, some of them I do find enjoyment out of. Are they all good? No, obviously not. That's just how it is. But it's kind of like Callie from Superchargers, where she gives you dailies. The brain always has something for you. So it doesn't have just one challenge for you today, or at least maybe like after 15 challenges he's done. I don't know. I haven't done that much. But the brain actually gives you stuff to do at the end of the game, all around the MAP. And that's really cool. So then you have the battle arena around the MAP. Sorry about that. Someone called me. I had to put a cut in video. But you have the MAP battle arena, and I really like battle arenas. I like them ever since, you know, Giants. I've always liked battle arenas, and this is no different. I think that it's a fun thing that you can do to level up your Skylanders. In Imaginators, that's what I do to level my Skylanders. I play the battle arenas. I think that they're really fun to do, especially with new Skylanders. Go to the battle arenas and see, is it a good Skylander or not? It really only works with Senseis, but you can also use these with other Skylanders as well. Like, almost all the Skylanders I get, I go to the battle arena and Imaginators to play with them, because I think that's the best thing to do to see if they're good or not, because the battle arena is actually kind of hard when you have low level Skylanders or Skylanders that aren't Senseis. Maybe I'm just bad, I don't know. But yeah, I actually really like the battle arena, but that's the bad thing about Imaginators, is that that's really all you can do after the game, except the expansion packs or replay of the game. That's probably my biggest knock with Imaginators, and the biggest thing I have against Imaginators is that there is not a lot of post-game content besides that. And other games like Swap Force have a lot of post-game content, but like Skylanders has always been a game where there really hasn't been a lot of stuff you can do after the game, because I don't want to do that stuff after the game. Like after Swap Force, I don't want to do the time challenges or whatever. Like after Giants, I don't want to do, like, you know, the hero quest or whatever. Skylanders has just always been like that, where it's like a, you know, Spyro game, a Crash game. Like once, you know, once I finish the game, I don't want to go for the 100% because it's way too hard. And then usually when I 100% Spyro, there is nothing else to do. That's just how those type of games are. You know, it takes a while to get through them, but when you're done, you feel satisfied, and you can always replay it. With Imaginators, it definitely doesn't take as long as some of the other games. I actually think it took longer for me to get through Imaginators than Giants, but Giants is kind of short. But I think that that's probably the biggest thing I have against Imaginators, that there's not a lot of post-game content. But besides that, the game is great. I love Skylanders, Imaginators. I think that it gets way too much hate. I think that it's the best Skylanders game. Now, you can disagree with me in the comments. You can tell me why. But like I said, a lot of this, you know, was opinion. So you can disagree with me, like I said, because we all have opinions. But anyway, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this video about me talking about why Imaginators is my favorite Skylanders game. Tell me what your favorite Skylanders game is in the comments below. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching.